Welcome, attorneys. It's Rilus Dana here. Today, I want to talk about flowcharts, diagrams, and the visual materials used during client meetings. I've seen a few comments about this in different attorney groups, so I said I would show my materials here. So here they are. So let me share my screen. So the first thing, this is when a client schedules a meeting, an estate planning consultation. This is what they receive from us. They receive a link to fill this out. And so this is how they do the initial meeting information with us. And then when I meet with them, I go over this stuff. And then usually I go, oh, it looks like you need a trust. I recommend a trust. So I have a PowerPoint that I use. I use this for different videos I've recorded. And I also use this live during my meetings. So I like to ask them, why did they come in? What are they looking for? But usually it goes back to probate. So I start with what is probate, because people don't understand that usually don't know what it is. So I explain how this scenario, this person died, still a house in her name. So probate's the process to activate the will. And then I can go through and show them the type of trust that I recommend, depending on the scenario. So I'll go through a married trust. This is probably the most common one, or a single trust. And I can, if there's different things I can go into and show them. I now have 200 slides in here, different scenarios and topics. So that's what I use to kind of get an idea, show them what they need, make recommendations, and then I'll come back here once we figure it out. Oh, well, before we go into here, we'll need to quote a fee. So what we call the welcome packet is a part of the visuals. I'm in the process of updating this, but before I show them the fee agreement, I like to first show a timeline of the process and how it works. So I describe that if they're ready to get started, I'll collect a deposit of half and start designing the plan. And then they get a chance to review the instructions and approve the instructions, that being what we're going to fill out right here. And then once they're ready to go and pay a deposit, we'll come back in here, start designing everything. And the drafting instructions, who should the trustee be, who are the beneficiaries, all that good stuff, guardians, blah, blah, blah. Oops, I don't know what I did. Okay, and then this meeting ends. I go back to this timeline and tell them, all right, next steps is check your email for a link to approve those drafting instructions. And then this is what that looks like. So they'll get an email with the link that looks like this. So they'll see all the same information that we just did. Now, I found this makes the document review process a lot easier, just to look at the moving parts. Make sure they spell the names right of the trustees. Make sure it lists the right people. It's a lot easier to confirm that information like this than it is buried in those legal documents. There's also some warnings down here. So at the top, there's some warnings saying, please review. Let's see. There may be fees if they want to make changes later. I don't know about you guys, but we had people where they would come in, they would say, yeah, everything looks good. Then it's not till the signing meeting and everything's printed where they tell you that they want to change things. So these little warnings just, they've made it so people pay more attention to this stuff, I found. So down here, this other warning, we say that if they want to make changes at the signing meeting or after they've signed, there's going to be a fee for that. And if they agree to everything, they can approve them, or they can not approve if they need to change something or whatever it is. And then after they approve, they receive their documents. This actually gets sent as a PDF. This is the trust. This is a Word version here, but it's just the first part of the Word template is a basic flow chart. So it has the basic information. This one's not filled out, but it would have the names of the clients up here, who their successor trustees are, and just kind of the moving pieces of their trust, what ages the kids get it. And again, I found that people really like these. They like having the simple way to see what's going on in the trust and the moving pieces. So that's how I do it. Those are the tools that I've developed. If you're in Arizona or California, we let other attorneys use these tools through Maat Legal. We're not in other states yet. Um, Curious to see what materials and tools you guys are using during your meetings. So uh, feel free to post in the group. I'd love to see if you have any tools that are helpful during your meetings or any resources that you use. Let me know what other topics you guys would like to hear about. Again, I just saw this question pop up on a few of the attorney groups, so I thought I'd come in here and answer and share my materials here, since my links my links tend to get deleted on other places. I know you're not allowed to post links or video links in other groups. See you next time, guys.